Welcome to A Funny Thing Called Business. We are 4 business owners with over 50 years collective experience under our belts, sharing the capers and triumphs of running a small business and how we now avoid perilous customer chaos and pitfalls. I'm Clare Whalley from Metaphor Business Coaching. We also have
Darren Langley from Gravitas Web Design.
Kate Curry from Kudos Creative.
Pete Morgan from Monkey Pants Productions.
Fabulous guys. So today we are talking about, well, is it a funny business topic? It's a very heavy business.
We should probably call this a therapy session called Business.
Yeah.
For this episode.
Who knows what it's going to turn out to be? But we're talking about when profits are down, what do you do? So,
Is cry in the corner an acceptable answer?
Well, I've done a video this morning from underneath my desk.
Nice.
So, anything's possible. Let's see where the next sort of half an hour goes. So let's talk about our experiences around when profits are down. I am sure with our 50 years collective experience, we have all experienced a downturn in profits. So let's dive in. Darren.
Yes. Well, I mean, I started my business in 2008. 6 months later, after starting it, was the global financial collapse, followed by, credit crunch and recession and Brexit and
all the horrible words.
All the other stuff, the COVID and all that malarkey, Liz Truss, all the really horrible words. And I've never really known the kind of the good times. You know what I mean? Gordon Brown, when he was Chancellor, he said, "This is the end of boom and bust," and he wasn't wrong, because there hasn't been a boom since, has there? It's just been all bust. So,
yeah.
So it has been challenging. I'm still waiting for the good times. I think I'll be retired before they happen. In fact, probably it'll happen about 6 months after I retire. It'll probably be like, the economy's booming.
I think the 90s were good times, weren't
The 90s would have been late
I was in
90s.
employment then, but, it was very...
And the noughties,
lots of people were spending, weren't they?
Absolutely. So so this profit word you mentioned, what is that again? Sorry, is that...
Let's see if we can work it out.
But really, what was the question? Because I've forgotten. After all that waffling.
Well, what are your experience of it?
Oh,
yes.
yes.
What about times in your business when profits have been down? How have you handled those?
It's a roller coaster ride, isn't it? Being a business owner. So 1 month it's like, oh, this is all looking lovely and rosy, and the bank account looks good and everything's flourishing. And then the next month it's like, oh, everything's a bit empty. What's happened here? But this is the eternal dilemma. It's such a tightrope between profit and non-profit. And one of the things, obviously, they always say, don't they, that turnover is vanity, profit is sanity. Mm-hmm. People can say, the turnover's massively up, and that's brilliant. That all sounds great, but so are your expenses. They're massively up as well, and there goes your profit. So, it's that ultimate equation, trying to keep costs down, which is really hard when costs are generally rising. Obviously, inflation is inflation, but I think that a lot of costs have kind of been. Going up above inflation. There've been things to new features and things to do. Oh, this new bit of software comes out. And it's like it's really could be really good for the business. You try that out, and then that's another expense to add to the business that you need to then kind of recover. But yeah, it's I don't really have a positive answer. It's just you've just got to kind of have a bit of faith, really, because that is the one thing after 17 years I would say is. Sometimes it feels like it's the end of the world, and then 6 months later everything's fine again, and you just got to kind of have faith and keep going through the highs and the lows, particularly the lows.
Yeah,
I think that word faith is a massive word, isn't it? And what you said about it being a tightrope. 1 month it's really great, and then the next it can be hard again.
Sometimes it is that quick as well.
Yeah, it is every month. It's month by month.
Yeah. 2025 for me, I would say, has been quite meh. Mm-hmm. It's been quieter than usual. And it can be quite hard to put your finger on it when that happens. we could talk about AI, we could talk about the war, we could talk about, changing government, which was the end of last year for the UK. And obviously all what's going on, there's lots of things. And sometimes it's very hard to pinpoint, and that in itself you can drive yourself mental with, because we like answers, don't we? Because we like solutions.
Yeah, and I think some of that is like having some solidities, or usually based on facts, but we kind of live in a post-fact world.
Yeah.
And you mentioned about the government there. I suppose there's been a lot of instability because a lot of stuff isn't forthcoming, like budgets. That's what happened, I think, last year. Was they're like, we're going to have a budget in October, and it's like April, or May or whatever it was, and it's like, well, that's a long time to wait to see how things are going to change and taxes.
And nobody wanted to make any decisions in that time,
and
did they?
And now we're doing it again because it's like, oh yeah, we're going to have a budget in November. Oh, we've got months to wait. We've got to get through.
And that is it. It is a lack of decision making.
Yeah.
And that's what I have seen in my business and the businesses that I work with in the last year, has been a lack of decision making. Nobody wants to make a decision. And it's weird, isn't it, how, politics, which I know it's all around us, but sometimes we can feel far removed from it. But it does have a direct impact.
It does.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, that's what a recession is almost, countries do talk themselves into recessions.
Yeah.
That's a sort of a known philosophy, by just a little bit of negative talk, and before you know it, it's had an impact on the actual. Sorry, Kate, go on. Oh, and another thing.
I was just going to say, when you're in a time of, profits going down, it is a really good opportunity to review all your expenditures.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Because we do have memberships and all these extra costs that we sign up for through enthusiasm, and I've got more money to spend, let's spend it.
And you just think, it's like £8, £9, 7, and then you realise, right, I've got about 8 of those.
Yeah.
And over 12 months.
So use the time to review all your expenditures and, is this going to bring me in money? Is this going to have like a really positive impact, and kind of do that kind of exercise with it. Kate, you can speak now.
I feel like a bottle of pop about to burst.
Here we go.
Or a bottle of gin, which was going to be my answer to when profits are down. That's what you need to know. That would be my top tip. Go and get one of those. I've had lots of ups and downs in the 12 years of business, and like Darren, been through like certain things that have been particularly like damaging, like COVID, which all of a sudden anything remotely to do with marketing just stopped overnight. Thank God for, I'm just going to add another word to our list of weird words, which is furlough. And everyone's like, what the heck is this thing? I was very grateful for it, actually, after a while. But I think because I'm an inherently like positive person, like after, and I love to see progress, I love to see growth. And when those things stop and then start to go backwards in the business, I find that really actually quite hard to deal with. So in COVID, my coping mechanism for that was to redecorate my living room.
Yeah.
Because I just have to keep myself busy. And I started off like, what do I do? I started picking a bit of wallpaper off. My husband was like, stop. And then all of a sudden, like a whole piece of it came up, too late.
We're decorating.
But it kept me sane for a couple of weeks, that did. I was like, at least I've got something to keep my mind busy.
Well, I think that's it, isn't it? It's finding something that you can control.
Yeah. I have like in like my notes I put here is working out is the reason behind why profit's down. Is it to do with something that is in your control or outside of your control?
Yeah.
And so you mentioned like this year's been a funny year for you, and I know it sort of I think it is for a lot of people. For me, last year was the one, and we were talking about the general election and then waiting for the budget to come out, and then of course everyone's like, well, we're going to hold on to our marketing spend until we know what's happening with
Don't hold on to your marketing spend would be my biggest piece of advice.
But it was so much of it was like, well, it's out of my control, but that almost made it worse. I'm like, what can I do about this? But I think that my sort of top tip is, and this is what I did, and I believe this is what really pulled things around for me, is I threw more at my marketing, not less. And because that's the advice I was giving other people, and they might say, "Well, you would say that, wouldn't you?" but it's the truth. And And I think that's where you're, in that time, you're getting brand awareness up, you're building more connections, getting more eyeballs on your business, talking more about what it is that you do and the impact you can have. And then as soon as things do come round again, you're there and ready, and, that relationship's already warmed up, isn't it? So
yeah,
I think that's the top tip, is just throw yourself into that, do more marketing.
Yeah, completely agree. Pete, what about you?
Similar to Kate, really. Last year was a incredibly fallow year. I mean, to the point where I think I've probably said this, is that in August last year I was going to close the business.
Yeah.
Because I just there was nothing coming in. And that all started with just a couple of clients stopping at the beginning of 2024. Not because of anything I'd done, just because that was always their plan. And then I just couldn't get anything back.
It's so weird, though, isn't it? Because we can all have catalysts like that. That starts with, I know, some clients not going ahead, or some clients that were going to go ahead and then, it just sometimes it has this weird effect.
Yeah. And basically, it is that kind of thing of, you just have to have faith. And I'm lucky that I've got nothing else in my life. So just doing the business was the thing that kept going. And then it was the general election, and then the budget, and then people felt more confident spending. And that's when kind of things started coming back in and picking up. So, it's just having that faith, really, is just, and making sure, being very much across your finances. Don't bury your head in the sand of go, right, nothing's coming in, I'm just going to wait until it picks up. Yeah. You've got to keep an eye on everything, because if you don't, before you know it, you're in a bit of trouble, really. So
yeah, that was going to be my next question. What's the worst thing that you can do when profits are down?
It's absolutely just bury the head. Bury the head.
Whose head?
Buried the
head. You should definitely bury the head. Don't keep that in your fridge now. Come on.
Bury your head with the financials.
Yeah.
Because it's still, we get it, there isn't as much money coming in, but it's still that lifeblood of the business.
I do hear that a lot, obviously, in my line of work, with business owners who come to me who don't understand their figures. They don't know their figures. And therefore, when profits do go down, that they can't really pinpoint where the leaks are. Why do you think that is, that so many business owners don't like their figures, don't understand them?
I think I would say a lot of it is because people start businesses because they want to do the thing they're passionate about,
Maths ain't one of them.
And that is if I'd wanted to run a business when I was at university, I'd have done a degree in business management or what business studies, whatever. I did one in design because I wanted to be a designer, and then eventually started my own business. So I think that is, I can well imagine that's a common theme for business owners. Started out of passion rather than.
And also, you tend, as a business owner, you tend to be looking more ahead and to the horizon, don't you? And the big ideas, and do this and that. This is where they're taking their business. And looking at numbers is boring, and it slows you down. It's all the detail, isn't it? I know that's what I don't get excited by. I don't get excited by maths. I have to lock myself in my kitchen if I have to do maths and remove all distractions.
I must admit, I have become an Excel junkie. I'd never used Excel really that much before starting my business. It was like, I don't use, who uses Excel? I mean, it's like, but now I've got Excel spreadsheets for everything, and it's like, I think I was working on a 4-year projection a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, that's
all this kind of stuff, like, look at me putting 4-year projections. Look at that optimism.
Well, that's a good point, though, isn't it? These things that help you keep the faith and give you hope when profits are down, it's doing exercises like that, perhaps not 4 years, because that might be a bit much when you're in the downturn, but even just going a year or 18 months ahead, it just keeps you focused on all the right things.
Your business is going places, but is your website keeping up? At Gravitas Web Design, we create professional websites for ambitious businesses, sites that look incredible and help you win more customers. From web design and software development to SEO and ongoing improvements, we make sure your website works as hard as you do. Visit gravitaswebdesign.com today. Gravitas Web Design, professional websites for ambitious businesses.
The other thing to do as well is not come away from social media, but ignore social media.
Yeah.
Because, as we know, we go on to LinkedIn, which I was saying the other day has become a little bit more like thought for the day than ever before.
Oh, LinkedIn's gone weird again.
Yeah, it has. Yeah,
Goes through stages.
my daughter broke her leg, and I thought, yeah, this is a bit like running a business, isn't it? But if you go on social media, particularly something like LinkedIn where it's other business owners, you will just see a load of people going, oh my God, everything's brilliant. And, yeah. And that's just going to make you feel, and it is just ignore it, because they are in just as bad a position, or they are in the same position that you're in. Everyone nicely kind of puffs things up for...
Yeah.
Very few people go on there and sort of talk about how shit it all is.
Exactly.
And if they did, you'd be like, oh, God, great, thanks
All right,
for bringing
misery.
me down.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Unfollow.
Keep it light.
So, yeah, absolutely. I think that the other thing, though, is, and just to come back to the kind of the numbers situation and Excel and all that, I think it's a bit of a case of knowledge is power, really, or knowledge is reassurance. For those clients of yours, Claire, who don't know their numbers and they don't know why that, things aren't being profitable or working out. For me, having a spreadsheet that says what the numbers are, that tells me where I should be at the end of the year, it's like, right, yes, that's my roadmap, that's my plan.
Yeah.
I know where I'm going. Stick to it and keep doing that. And I break it down into how many projects I need or how many hours of whatever it is I need. And it's just like, well, all I've got to do is get this much more this month, that much more next month, and you can really sort of make it digestible chunks.
Yeah.
And it gives you that plan,
Yeah.
Whereas if you don't have a clue of what the numbers are or how you're getting, the work, or how your income should break down across your services or whatever it is, or what your marketing's doing, you're really not going to... You're going to stress. That to me would be a massive stress.
And you're not going to know how to market, because from your figures you can see, it's just one more client or, 2 more projects, or whatever it is.
Absolutely.
I would always say as well, for business owners who are struggling, is to speak to somebody.
Yeah.
And not just anybody. Don't go and chat with your mum or your brother or whatever. Speak to someone who is also in business. And I would also say, don't just ask them to listen, because I think it's very hard when people are going, oh, have you tried this? Oh, have you done that? Just listen to the problems. So what else advice would you give to business owners who are struggling with?
Don't look for the easy fix, because one of the things I was doing was like, right, what else can I do? So podcasting's very audio focused. What other audio things can I do? And then you start to look for the really quick wins, or the things you think are quick wins, and they never turn out to be. They're just going to suck up more money, and you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's that as well. It's just,
you
know what the business is, keep doing that.
Yeah. There's a market for it. You're passionate about it. You've probably just got to tweak how you talk about it.
Yeah.
There is also, I'd say there is one quick win you can do.
It's not OnlyFans, is it?
Stealing my thunder. So if you head to OnlyFans...
That was not a quick win for me. Not even close. That cost me money.
No.
There's lots of snorts today. I do apologise.
My quick win was going to be something else entirely.
You've forgotten what it is now.
It was to review your pricing and things like that, because, as I mentioned, you look at your expenses sheet, prices are going up. But if you're not reflecting that in your income by putting your prices up accordingly, and not talking crazy, but keeping things in line with inflation or in line with your own personal, your own company's inflation in terms of what expenses are going up. My accountant always tells me every year, have you done a price review?
Yeah,
Put your prices up.
yeah.
And I can tell you, he does actually practice what he preaches.
That's so true, Darren, and it's something I was talking about this week because I was doing a LinkedIn Live and I shared about checking the Bank of England inflation rate calculator because so many businesses are absorbing the rising costs.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, we can't keep
Absolutely.
absorbing it all.
And I don't practice what I preach in that regard, but if you were to actually look at like the last where you started out and what your hourly rate was or whatever, and do that Bank of England or the kind of inflation calculator, it'd probably be quite shocking how short you're selling yourself, really.
Definitely. Kate, anything to add?
I agree with all the above. I think a lot depends on like your character, how you deal with these sorts of things, these downturns, and I think all three of you around this table have seen me like bawling my eyes out at one point or another over the time, like we've all known each other. So I think I really agree, like having somebody that you trust to speak to about things is really important because it can be very isolating, feel really lonely if you're struggling on your own. And then you're speaking to your family about it and they haven't got a clue what to tell you. But I think like my top tip would be like try and keep focused on some of your the positives and the wins that you've had. Because like when I'm having a bit of a business slump, like my internal dialogue is just like, you massive dickhead, you shouldn't be in business. What the hell are you doing? And it's really hard to block that out. So you have to kind of look back and go, well, look at what your clients are saying about you. The nice things clients are saying about you. Look at the quality of the work that you're doing. Look at the results that you're getting for people. And remember that you're good at what you do. You are running a brilliant business and it will come good again. Everybody has these ups and downs and we all feel it like collectively when there's something external just hammering us, with business costs or challenges in the economy or anything like that. Just keep
Focus on the wins.
Yeah. I think so
Absolutely.
because a lot of it is mindset, isn't it? You could really easily just crumble, like you were saying.
Totally.
I might just close the business, like you were thinking that last year. But thank God you didn't. You kept it going.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all part of the kind of the mental health aspect of life in general as well, isn't it?
But you feel it more as a business owner, though, don't you? Everything's heightened.
You get you get it twice, I would say.
Yeah.
You get your personal kind of doubts. Oh, I'm a terrible father or whatever, just because I locked them in the cupboard. Whatever. But and then you also get your business doubts.
Yeah.
But yes, filter those Google reviews by 5 stars only.
Yeah.
Well, of course, because when you're in a job and you hate your job, you're still getting paid for the job.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But of course, when you're in business and things are going wrong, then all aspects of it hit you like a ton of bricks.
And I know we've talked about this, but obviously, Darren and Kate have staff. Have it like a team. So does that make the pressure worse?
Yes. It does. You feel really responsible. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the thing where when you have those doubts, I think of like, oh, forget this, I'll just go and get a job. It's like, well, yeah, but what about,
can't do
what about
that,
a team?
can
No, I
you?
can't do it. So
Lock them in a cupboard?
Yeah.
You see?
But
I knew there was an
your
answer.
staff are your biggest overhead for most companies. So when you're saying like look at figures and then you're looking at how much that it costs you in like salaries and NI and pension contributions and all that sort of stuff, it really adds up. So it can add a massive extra pressure to you if you have staff.
But what we have to do then, I haven't got employed staff, but I've got staff who I contract every month. So it's about looking at your team and changing their role a little bit. How can they go into kind of more kind of money generating activities or saving money activities? So it's just, rebalancing things a little bit. So what have you learned about yourself through running a business and going through this roller coaster of, yay, profits are up. Oh, profits are down. What are you learning? I'm learning that I can handle anything. Like you say, Darren, we've been through 2 recessions, a pandemic since 2007. it is easy to get things out of perspective. But, you know, as long as you've got your health, we have got everything, haven't we? We kind of need. So
We've come so far, we've reached so high.
No, it sounds cheesy, but
No, but
that's what
that's
I have
absolute-
to do.
no,
I
it's
have
right.
to remember, you know, to get some perspective. And I always remember someone telling me, you know, if we all put our problems in a pile, we'd pick our own problem back.
Yeah.
And it's, you
That's
know,
a great. I've not heard
Yeah.
that before. That's brilliant. Love
yeah.
that.
So, Pete, what have you learned about yourself through the ups and downs? What did you learn from like last August when you was ready to throw the towel in?
That I should have spoken to somebody because I was thinking nobody else has ever been through this or nobody's going through this at the moment. And all the negativity that we're talking about, whereas, and I did speak to people about it, but properly sit down with someone and
Yeah.
go, look at these figures, look at what's going on with the business. And, you know, if I had hair, I'd pull it out.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And then the thing I've learnt this year is control, because one of my, and this is personal, not just professional, you know, if I've got a tenner, I'm spending 15 quid. So,
I'm the same.
yeah, so it's been, when the profits have been up, it's been really hard to not go, oh, what new thing can I buy?
Yes.
You don't need to buy anything.
Yeah. Just chill out.
Just keep it until you've got to buy something.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, that's me.
Yeah, that's good. I think if we put, you know, if we had a room full of 100 business owners and said, put your hand up, who's ever thought about jacking it all in? Every single hand would go up.
I think it would.
Yeah. Kate, what have you learned about yourself through the roller coaster?
Well, I'm going to say something a bit weird now, but like, I'm glad that I've been through tough times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I think if it was always roses, I'd probably be a bit of a tap.
I thought you were going to say bored, but no, that's...
But I think it keeps your feet on the ground. It keeps you real. It helps you be a lot more like empathetic with other people and other businesses, with your clients, with other people that you know, on the business journey, and. You know, there's nothing worse than like trying to sort of talk to somebody and they're like, well, I'm all right, I'm fine, I'm doing brilliantly. And I'm just like, you don't want to hear that. I think it's really good to be able to go like, I really empathise with that. And I think that's when you really like dig deep and find out what you're made of as well, which is, thankfully, there's something reasonably rigid in here. But you know, I've managed to get through some really difficult times.
Yeah.
And,
so you know that you can get through
yeah.
them.
And that almost feels like more of a success and more of a win than like some of the big client wins that we've had or the big successes. It's like, you know, I've actually managed to get through that reasonably intact, and you know, so what I'm doing must be doing something right to be able to get through these really difficult times.
And when you have that kind of realization of the inevitability of slumps, that it will be like, you know, like Darren said, it swings and roundabouts, it's ups and downs. It happens constantly, knowing that, I could deal with that.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's not going to kill us, is it?
And I've learnt the importance of having a beefy business buffer behind you.
Oh, a beefy business
A beefy
buffer.
business
I like
buffer. So if you have a beefy business buffer, then you can. It really does help things, because you know you've got something behind you then to help to sort of cushion the impacts of these slumps when they happen and get you through them. So yes, beefy business buffer.
I didn't know what was going to come after beefy.
I'm
I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I'm vegetarian as well. I don't know why I chose beefy.
You're vegetarian?
I am, yes.
God, I don't think I know that.
A broccoli business buffer.
Not quite the same,
No.
is it? So let's talk about challenges that you have right now. One of the challenges that I've seen and kind of talked about is people's decision-making process this year has been very different. People are more cautious, making decisions more slowly. So, you know, what I've learned in business, and I think I'd already learned this, but, you know, we're kind of getting a lot of the same lessons over and over, aren't we? Well, 18 years in, we are. Is that it is about being able to adapt all the time. And just because something used to work in your business doesn't mean that it's always going to work. So you kind of need to be tweaking and re-looking at stuff. So So yeah.
No, it is. Well, I think that would be certainly the same for me, is that adaptability, because in the industry things have changed and become easier, and the rise of AI, clients are expecting more for the same or more for less.
Yeah, more for
so
less.
So it's illustrating that, well, actually no. Because yes, you could use AI, but it just isn't going to be as good as if you use me. So, and it is that thing of that adaptability that for some people you go, okay, yeah, I'll change what I do for that. But for a lot of people, it is like, no, you're going to have to adapt to the fact that if you want to use AI, fine, but you're not going to get as good a product as if you use me.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? There are always going to be people out there who think, oh yeah, I can just do this. Yeah. It's like the GoDaddy websites or, any cheaper websites. Well, yeah, you go there then, but I'm more for people who,
That's what I was going to say, I suppose, in relation to what Peter said, that I've kind of been through it before. The whole notion of AI coming in and taking our jobs is exactly what happened 5-10 years ago, whenever it was, when the notion of people having DIY websites and being able to do it themselves through Wix and things came along. And it's like, we didn't really see that. Yeah, there are definitely people who did that. Lots of people have done that. And, maybe they've done well, maybe they haven't, but it hasn't affected us, hasn't stopped people coming to us for something that's actually more purpose-built, more professional. And I think that is the same with AI. And the more I use AI, the less results you get. I think it's kind of... it will get better and better, but I think it's flatters to deceive at the moment. So we're still good for a little bit.
What's that saying? Flatters to deceive?
Yeah, it's it talks a good game, but it talks the talk, but it doesn't walk the walk.
Right. Yeah.
So when you do things with AI, you're not going to get those results yet. It's a good tool to help with stuff, but it's not. It's not going to replace too many businesses too soon.
Kate, any challenges?
Yeah, constantly.
I honestly thought she was going to go, no, it's all good. Next question.
Well, there's always challenges in the daily challenges. I definitely agree with adapting and pivoting slightly, and that's definitely what I'm trying to do with expanding services a little bit more beyond like just doing creative design and branding. And so in particular going more into the sort of marketing sphere, which is where you can demonstrate a lot more ROI on the work that you're doing rather than just through the design side of things. And I think that's, I'm finding that's quite a successful addition to to what we do. And ultimately what that does is drive what we love to do, which is all the creative ideas and things like that. So I think that's been quite I've been sort of banging the drum about that for the last few months and really starting to see, a difference in the sort of inquiries that are coming through as a result of it. So it's, so that's, is that a challenge? I feel like I've pivoted away from the question. But
it's nice though, because it kind of leads us into talking about some positives that are coming from, the changes that we're seeing all around us.
But pivoting and changing is a challenge, isn't it? It's like, am I doing the right thing? Am I saying the right thing? Will people understand that we still do what we were set out to do originally? So you've got to be sort of.
And you don't want to spread yourself too thin as well.
You don't want to spread yourself too thin either. Yeah, you have got to be careful.
Yeah,
but I think,
and of course, as business owners, we can make decisions very quickly, but implementing them can often feel like you're moving a juggernaut. Because you've got to then change how people see you, and that can take time.
It does take time. But I think it does also, what it does do is like de-risk things a little bit as well. Like if you are just kind of, there's two schools of thought, isn't there? You could be like this sort of one-trick pony, but then if there are any, like potentially a couple of years, AI suddenly can do the things that we're doing, then you're in a lot of trouble. Whereas if you're sort of spreading the risk a little bit more, then then you can sort of offer this sort of really lovely combined sort of holistic service that AI still couldn't be able to do very well. So, it's. So I suppose that's the challenge for me at the moment. It's like doing a bit of a pivot and trying to expand things a little bit and doing that in a way that is, but I'm starting to see the success of that already. So I think it's been a good move.
Brilliant. Pete, let's talk about some positives, because you know I like to finish on a positive note.
Yeah. I think the positive is that self-improvement side is that I feel I'm a better business owner now than I was 12 months ago because of that. Like Kate said,
Yeah.
I wouldn't wish it on anyone,
No.
but I'm glad I've been through it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the positive is I'm a better business owner now. Well, I think I am.
Yeah.
Than I was 12 months ago.
So what in particular is
Just
better?
that ability to look at the business as a whole more and not panic as quick.
Yeah.
You know, not be as quick to kind of, you know, start getting the life jackets out and the buckets of, you know,
Yeah.
men and children, who's going first? I'm going first. You know, it is women and children first. That was the phrase I was looking for. You know, it not going to that as quick.
Yeah. And Darren, what about you? Positives?
Well, I mean, logic dictates that there is lots of positives, otherwise we wouldn't keep doing this to ourselves for 17 years or so. And there are positives. There are positives such as having control of your own destiny.
Yeah.
You know, there are positives when the profits are actually up, you know, and you can enjoy the benefits of what you are doing, reap what you sow and all of that.
Yeah.
So,
Go on a mad shopping spree.
Go on a mad shopping spree, and then next month from realising everything's gone down again. But yeah, so there's it's his journey, and it is exciting. It's dramatic, you know. It keeps you on your toes.
It does.
Do you get that if you're working for someone else in a job? And you know,
No, because you're just being dictated to, aren't you? This isn't working anymore, so you're going to do this now.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, the positives are we are in complete control, aren't we? If something's not working, then we decide how and when and why we change it.
Yeah.
Which is great. Okay, guys, hopefully we've given our listeners lots of ideas, and mostly to let people, fellow business owners, know that, you know, we all go through it.
Yeah.
They're not alone, and there are things that they can do. So thanks, guys. And for our lovely listeners, please share, subscribe and review so our fellow business owners can enjoy, be inspired and always keep focused on the fun side of business.
This has been a Monkey Pants Productions podcast.